to Inside with Bel. I am your host, Bel Hernandez Castillo, coming to you from the beautiful city of Angels, Los Angeles, the second most populous city in the U.S., a sprawling metropolis known for its beaches, the Hollywood sign, and a rich mix of cultures from around the world. Now, LA may not be considered the city of romance, but it is the city where many of Hollywood's most beloved romantic comedies are made. Every year, studios here produce the films that make us laugh, swoon, and believe in love all over again. And women have always been the heart of rom-com audiences, driving box office hits like Pretty Woman, What Women Want, and Hitch. And when it comes to love stories, Latinas have long been devoted fans. Many of us grew up watching telenovelas, from classics like Corazón Salvaje, Los Ricos También Lloran, and Amor Real. Also, the new modern spins like Ugly Betty. So it's no surprise that Latinas top the list of fans who keep this genre thriving. And Hollywood is finally catching on, with the romantic comedy evolving into reflecting diverse audiences and faces. And it's a proven box office fact. According to YouGov.com, the highest grossing romantic comedy of all time is My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the story of a 30-year-old Greek woman who falls in love with a man who's charming, funny, and definitely not Greek. Made for just $5 million, it went on to gross nearly $369 million worldwide. Latinas, meanwhile, have been making their mark on screen and at the box office. Cameron Diaz still ranks as the #1 actress audiences most want to see in a romantic comedy. And Jennifer Lopez isn't far behind at #5. And we can't forget Eva Mendes in Hitch, which holds the #4 spot among the top grossing rom-coms of all time. Or Cameron Diaz again in There's Something About Mary at the #5 on this list. And there's more. Salma Hayek charmed audiences in Fools Rush In, and the legendary Raquel Welch brought her comedic flair to How to Be a Latin Lover. On television, Gina Rodriguez led the longest-running hit, Jane the Virgin, 5 seasons, proving that audiences are hungry for romance stories told through a Latina lens. However, when it comes to the title of rom-com queen, that crown still belongs to Jennifer Lopez, with 8 romantic comedies under her belt, from Wedding Planner to Made in Manhattan to Marry Me and beyond. Today, we continue our look at the world of romantic comedies with a special guest, actress Vannessa Vasquez, who stars alongside Grammy-winning performer Luis Fonsi in the new rom-com Say a Little Prayer. Stay tuned for my interview with Vannessa as we dive deeper into her journey, her artistry, and what makes her one of the most unique and compelling Latina actresses working today. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Vannessa Vasquez began her career performing in local Houston theaters. She did her first TV appearance alongside singer-songwriter Frankie J. Bitten by the acting bug, she moved to Hollywood and started her acting career. After appearing on a few independent films, she landed a series regular role in the teen drama Islos High as Camila Barrios. She has worked on several films since then, and she was cast in her first role starring in Divorce Bait in 2022. And currently, she plays the lead role in Say a Little Prayer opposite Grammy Award-winning performer and now actor Luis Fonsi, which is currently streaming and available on VOD. Here is a peek at the film Say a Little Prayer.
Are you ready, Boots? Start walking. You keep saying you got...
We'll start with 15.
Are you
1,500 is the bid. 1,500. Now,
okay, this is when I take my hoops
2,500
off.
is the bid.
It's called Good Debt.
I never said I was gonna propose to you.
To your great booty. Beauty.
You keep lying when...
Follow the tradition that we have upheld for generations.
St. Anthony, the saint you pray to when you lose your car keys?
I want to see the prayer.
Me too.
Amen.
Looking for anything in particular?
Never love again, so I do
Nothing beats a picnic by the river.
Just found me enchanting.
tell
You are quite the tour guide.
when we kiss. Why would...
Ruby, you still haven't told us what your mystery man's name is yet.
You are freaking unbelievable.
Stay out of my life, stay out of our lives.
Let the mission bells ring me home, 'cause I am saved.
When you see a painting and you have that connection with the artist, it's magic. Told you it was magic.
He's a vegan.
So no carnitas? No ribs?
Never.
In Texas? That's weird.
Wasn't that the best rom-com? I love rom-coms, and I especially love this one. And I'm excited to welcome Vannessa Vasquez here. She is the leading lady and my guest today on Inside with Bel. Welcome, Vannessa, to Inside with Bel.
Thank you.
So good to
excited
see
to be
you.
here. Likewise.
I know that you are now an international citizen of both countries, U.S. and Mexico. And right now you're coming to us from Mexico. How is it over there today?
It's good. It's a little cloudy today. It's rainy season, but yeah, it's been nice living here now, and also just kind of getting a feel of the culture and going back and forth from the U.S. to here. Just it's nice to. I feel very privileged to be able to have access to both countries and to be able to enjoy Mexico.
I love Mexico. And I'm so excited for your film. I've seen it. It's one of my favorite rom-coms because it is filmed in San Antonio. The storyline is just so cute. And there's so many fantastic actresses, beginning with you as the leading lady. And also you get to work with Angelica Maria, la novia de Mexico.
Follow the tradition that we have upheld for generations.
Saint Anthony, the saint you pray to when you lose your car keys.
So
Yeah.
what a privilege. But tell me about your journey of getting this role, because I know you've worked with the producer and director before in another film called Divorce Bait. But tell me about this film. How did you get approached, and what did you think of the script?
Well, I was actually in Puerto Vallarta when they sent it to me on a family trip, and the producer Christina Nava, which was the writer of Divorce Bait, and also I think producer, she said that she was working on a new script and she wanted me to read it and let me know what I thought. And it was still early on, maybe 6 months prior to us filming. And I immediately read it and I loved it. I had like chills all over my body. I said, oh my God, this feels like something really special, something that we've never seen before. And as a Mexican American growing up in Texas, I never saw myself in Tejano rom-coms, and as a Latina, we barely saw each other in rom-coms too. So I thought it was something beautiful to just kind of showcase a different part of the American culture. And so I said yes, and then she said, "Well, we still have to do our due diligence and look at other actresses." So I just let it go. And then 6 months later, they're like, "Okay, we looked around, but we still want you." And I was like, "Okay, I still want to do it." So I came
And
on.
this, ladies and gentlemen, is Hollywood. This is the
Exactly.
behind the scenes what happens. The agony of being and waiting 6 months to find out if you were going to be the lead in a film. But
Yeah.
that's Hollywood, right?
Yeah, that's how it is. You just have to learn how to let things go. And then, even if one of your other friends gets it, just wish for the best. Like, it's still exciting. I get so excited when my friends book things. So sometimes I'll get sad. I'm like, oh, I really wanted to be a part of it. But if I don't, I'm excited to see my friends and to go support on their projects too.
That's the attitude. I love it. I first met you on screen when you did Camila in Islos High. And that's
Oh,
when
yeah.
wow, I said, this is an amazing actress. And that was a few years back. And here you are now from the TV show where you were a series regular. And now you're the leading lady of 2 films. That's quite an accomplishment.
Thank
How does
you.
that feel like to you? Does it feel like it was just yesterday that you were in that TV show? How does
You
that feel?
know, I don't even know. I was actually thinking about that this morning. I'm gonna cry. I was like, I feel very, very grateful. I feel like I set out to Hollywood with not much. I just had hopes and dreams and a really strong, almost like agonizing feeling that I had to go do this. I had to go help tell stories. And I did theater for so long, and I even tried to do independent films in Texas, but there was no, at that time, there was no work there. And the small roles that were coming through were very stereotypical. And I was like, I'm never going to get to tell the stories I want to tell here. So I set out, just on a whim to go and follow my dreams. I left a lot of things behind. I sacrificed so much. And it's sometimes, you look at things and you're like, I don't know if I've done enough, or society makes you feel like you haven't done enough, right? But then I look at things, I'm like, no, this is actually really cool. Like, this is really awesome. And I feel so, so grateful. And I just want to like share with everyone. Yesterday I was texting all my friends and my family. I'm like, hey, my movie's out on this, and that. And some of people like, oh, great job. And I'm like, this is, how hard this is. You know how hard it is to get a
That's
lead in a
right. People
rom-com.
don't realize how hard it is to be not only get roles on television and film, but to be the lead. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And then to do another lead. So hopefully you will get more and more leads, because we need more Latinas. And you are such a great actress. I am so
Thank you.
happy about this film. So tell us a little bit about this film, because you got to work with Grammy award-winning performer Luis Fonsi,
Mm.
who did Despacito. So I'll know who he
Despacito.
is. Tell me about doing the film in San Antonio, in Texas, because that's the state that you're from, but also in San Antonio, which is such a romantic city, and then working with him and on your two other actresses. But let's start with your feelings about working with Luis Fonsi.
Well, with Lisa, right away when I met him, he was just so funny and so natural and just really down to earth. And I didn't know much about his career at that time, to be honest. I know he was a huge pop star, but even some of the songs that I knew about him, I didn't know it was him who sang it. He was like, looked at me, he's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, maybe it helped out, that I didn't know so much. Um, because everywhere we went, there was fans and people that just come out of nowhere, and they were like, "Oh my God, Luis Fonsi," and and I would just joke, with him on set. Sometimes I'm like, "Okay, are we ready for the star? Are we ready?" Because people were always wanting pictures and just to do videos with him. And so he was so kind to everyone. And the most important thing, I think, it was that he's such a creative artist. And I think working with any incredible creative artist, wherever they go, whether it's a movie or a music video or a telenovela or another song that they're creating, there's a certain dynamic about individuals who are just so successful that just able to like let go and immerse themselves in that form of creative art. So I think watching him unfold, to me, it felt very natural what he was doing. And I think it made from some really cute scenes and some great chemistry. And I think that's ultimately how you create, right? Is just, let's have fun and put our talents to work and see what magic happens. So I was happy that he, of all people, was the person, because I was so grateful for his energy.
But then now let's go into some of the storyline. So it's three Latina women, professional Latina women. As a matter of fact, you are a gallery, like art
Yeah,
gallery
art gallery owner. Uh-huh.
owner, and you're tell us about the sisterhood, because you're three close friends, and who can't relate to being hanging out with your friends, and then the dynamic between them. And how did you know the two actresses before you worked with them?
I only knew Vivian Lamoli, excuse me. I had worked with her on East Los High. And so I had I already knew who she was, and so Jackie, I didn't really know much, but they were both very fun on set and they brought a lot of energy. So it was easy, like, again, to just play. And I think all of them, Luis and Jackie and Vivian, they all kind of have this Caribeño fun energy. And so they brought that to set every day. And so it was just I felt so stressed sometimes, but sometimes I would just like immerse myself. I was like, you know what? The characters are all having fun. Let's just all have fun. And I think you can really
Right.
see that. Yeah.
You said that you felt stressed, and I guess as a leading lady, there's a little bit of an extra stress factor because it's you, and your leading man. You're carrying the film.
Yeah, I for sure, and it's just you're carrying the film, and then on top of that, because it was the first film of its kind to film in Texas, it was getting so much attention from people, and we had news reporters on set. We even had congressmen that came in. We had radio stations that wanted to interview us. And I had dealt with some of that on East Los High when you're working long hours as a lead, and then you have people want to come interview you. But because we had such a short time to film, everybody came at the same time, and everybody wanted to do interviews, and I found myself a bit exhausted, more than usual on films, but Angelica Maria, which was I loved her energy too. She was the one that would like told me at the end. She's like, Mija, it's okay to take a rest. It's okay for you, even though you're the lead, you don't have to, carry it all. You can say, hey, I need a break. And I think, as women, we're so used to just like, I just got to keep going. We got to keep going. We got to make things happen. But she recognized that in me, and I loved having that experience of her just reminding me that it's okay to ask for a break. And I was like, oh my God, Angelica Maria is speaking to me.
So really quickly, we saw the rom-com trailer, so we kind of know what it's about. But what was the highlight of filming this movie?
God, there were so many. I think there was a moment on set where we were filming in one of the placitas in front of, and there was these the Mexican banderitas, the colorful ones. They were everywhere, and there was people watching, and lots of Mexican Americans and Latinos and little kids, just looking at us create this film. And for a moment, I had this feeling of, I wonder if this is how Selena felt, when she would film in San Antonio, and she was that inspiration to me and so many other young Mexican Americans or Latino Americans, creating, become doing things that they can see, look up to us and say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. And so I remember looking at them and just kind of sharing the moment with them, and yes, kind of giving that energy of, hey, we're here, and hopefully you feel inspired to also become artists. And even with the story, the story was about arts, Latinos in arts, and the art gallery owner Luis Fonsi was an art creator. And so I was like, I hope this inspires them to become artists themselves in whatever form that manifests for them. So to me, that was the most special moment.
That is a special moment. Thank you so much for sharing that. But
Yeah.
we won't tell you about the relationship. You got to go watch because Luis Fonsi is being fought over by some two women, but we won't say who. We're teasing. Yes, we're teasing. You got to go watch. But it's a beautiful rom com. At the end, you feel like so like, yeah, this is right. This is what should happen. And at the end of the day, it's all about sisterhood because the women really are friends forever, and it's just a beautiful story. So congratulations on doing that. Right now, it's playing on all these streaming platforms and VOD. So everyone go watch and follow Vannessa on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Vannessa?
It's Vanesita V. It's Vanessa with two N's, two S's. Vanesita.
But just to go back a little bit too, I wanted to ask you, now you're also producing. You're not just in front of the camera, you are now getting behind the camera to why did you decide to do that? Basically, I was going to mention maybe what you did, but you tell us, why did you decide to move behind the camera?
Well, I kind of started after I did East Los High. I was really inspired by the producers and the creators of it, of, just wanting to tell the stories that they wanted to tell. I've done a lot of guest stars and recurrings and book series regulars that on also big studios, ABC, NBC, pretty much all the studios. And um, I just didn't really feel oftentimes that we were depicted properly, and the things that we would say or the positions of the characters. And for me, coming off East Los High and being number one on a TV show with people that already were telling the stories that they wanted to tell that felt incredibly authentic, it- I there was no way I couldn't. I just had to keep that going. It's basically like having the best tacos in the world, and then you go off and you have Taco Bell, and I was like, I don't like this. It doesn't taste good. Like, I've already had the best tacos in Mexico City. I can't go eat Taco Bell. It just doesn't work that way. So
Right.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be inspired by them, by the people that came before me and gave me an opportunity. And I'm going to do the same for others. And I'm going to become a producer and also write. I studied writing, and I have my own things that I'm pitching, but I'm also collaborating with writers. I don't want to do, I love acting and I want to continue acting, but I also want to help tell more authentic stories and elevate Latina directors, Latina writers, Latino writers, directors, other people that feel unseen and unheard, and see how we can join forces with those that are seen, those that do have a voice, and say, hey, can we collaborate? And so I also want to create projects that unite Mexico and the United States and help build bridges, and get people a better understanding of what the people of Mexico are like, as opposed to, what we're used to seeing on television.
Is that
So
why you moved to Mexico? Because is that why you moved to Mexico? Because you wanted to do that?
yes, that's exactly why I'm here. My cousin is also a filmmaker in Monterrey, and I'm here in Mexico City learning about the industry on this side, and meeting with all kinds of actors, directors, producers, and seeing how the system works over here. So I'm excited to hopefully bring more content and more people from Hollywood to Mexico and tell stories here, and just, yeah, give everybody more work, and hopefully create more authentic pieces for the world.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You are a dynamo, and I know you're going to be producing some beautiful stuff soon, because you've thought about it and you did it. A lot of people think about it, but they never really put it into action, and you have done that. So again, congratulations on the movie coming out. It's a beautiful movie. All going to go see it. I've seen it several times and I love it. I tell people about it all the time. And we'll be watching out for the stuff you're going to be doing in Mexico. Can't wait to
Thank
see some of
you.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes, me
much,
too.
Vanessa.
Thank you so much, Belle. Send you so much love and a big hug.
Welcome back. Vanessa, thank you for joining us on Insight. As you heard, Vanessa is now producing. She was inspired by the opportunities given to her when she landed her first starring role on TV in East Los High. The show was created by Carlos Portugal, and the producers gave her the platform to shine and be noticed. Fast forward, it was Patrick Perez Vidauri who cast her in her first leading role in Divorce Fate back in 2022, which then led to her starring role in Say a Little Prayer. It's a theme that has repeated itself throughout the years. Latinos introducing new talent to Hollywood by taking a chance on them when mainstream Hollywood would not. There are several examples of Latino directors, producers, casting actors in lead roles that catapulted them into a career in film and television. In 1978, Edward James Olmos was cast by Luis Valdez in his play and film Zoot Suit, and now you know his legendary career. Selma Hayek's first role in the U.S. was a tiny role as a gang member in Allison Anderson's film My Crazy Life in 1993. But it was director-writer Robert Rodriguez who saw the real talent and cast her in her first lead role in Desperado, launching her career to the heights today. Although Jennifer Lopez was gaining momentum on television, her big break came when she was cast in Selena, written and directed by Gregory Nava. That's when her career really took off. These are just a few examples of how stars are created. Looking beyond the stereotypes of who a group is to seeing the real talent is key. It makes you wonder how many other worthy talents have not been seen because they weren't given a chance. But that's Hollywood, and that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I invite you to follow us on social media at Insight with Bel. Thank you again, and until next time.